Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is the Urban Sewing Society, where we bring fashion and creativity to your neighborhood. My name is Jen and I am the Urban Sewist. If this is your first time tuning into my channel, please be sure to click that subscribe button below and click on that bell so that you don't miss an update. All right, you guys, I am not ready to say summer is over. I'm absolutely not. I just refuse to let it go, and I am going to relish in these last few days that we are having some nice weather here in Chicago. The weekend's been great. The week promises to be good, except we're going to get a little rain. So I am still in the summer mode. And so today I am bringing to you 3 T-shirt upcycles that I did maybe 2 years ago. If you're on Facebook and you are part of my online Facebook sewing group, Urban Sewing Society, you can look it up. I did a live session where I showed how to make these shirts. Yeah, this was like 2 years ago. Now, I wanted to revisit these T-shirt upcycles because they came out so great. They were so cute, and I wore them because I just don't like a plain T-shirt. I like to cut my T-shirts out, and I don't necessarily want to just cut the sides and tie knots. I mean, sometimes that's nice, and for some T-shirts that's good, but I wanted something that was going to be a little bit different and kind of made it look like a summer top. So these 3 designs I created for, one was for a girlfriend of mine who she's seeing this video and she hasn't gotten her shirt yet, but she'll know who she is. So one was for her and the other 2 were for me. And one of them I'm wearing now, and I really like the way this one turned out. So stand by. We're gonna jump right into these upcycles. I hope you guys try them out. I hope you still have a few warm days left of summer. Don't let it go. Hold on to summer as long as you can and try out some of these upcycles. I found all of these on Pinterest, and I kind of mixed them up a little bit. So I did a little something different on them, for the exception of this one. This one is pretty much the way I saw it, and I thought it was really nice. And I've done this on several of my shirts. Hope you guys try some of these out. Leave me some comments below. Let me know if you did. Tag me on Instagram if you try them out. I would love to see them. All right, let's get into these upcycles. So first I got started with this yellow shirt, and you want to fold it in half and round off the bottom. Now, if you choose to leave the bottom straight, that's fine. It may or may not throw off the shirt, but I chose to round out the bottom. And I apologize for my camera. For some reason, the focus is a little bit off. So trim off that excess. You will not need it later. And then next, you want to create a diagonal line from the underarm to the sides of the neck. And then you're going to cut off the back. So first, I'm going to do the top layer by cutting diagonally down to the underarm. And then in the back, cut around the collar, the ribbing. You definitely want to keep that intact. And around the sleeves. Then fold it in half the wide way, and you want to begin to make these strips in the back. So I used my pencil and I created lines in the back. You can't really see the lines, but they're about 10 inches from the top down. And now I'm going to cut these strips from the top neckline down approximately 10 inches. You can make them longer if you like. You can make them shorter. I didn't really play around with the length. I kept them right at about 10 inches. And when I got finished, I had about 7 strips on one side, 7 strips on the other. Obviously, I'm cutting through both layers, so that's giving me double. So I believe I ended up with 14. And this is important to note. Okay, so next you're going to lay the shirt back out and nice and flat. And now you have 14 strips. So you're going to take the first 7, pull those up,
And then you're going to take the 7 from the other side and weave them through the ones on the other side of the shirt. So one strip at a time, just take it, weave it in and out, in and out. You can lift the pieces up and just weave them in and out. This process shouldn't take more than a few minutes to do. Just make sure that you're not skipping or missing any. Try not to move the strips around too much, because you could pull some of the strips out of the weave that you've created. Now when you're done, take the ends of the woven strips and pull them up towards the neckline, keeping the weaving design intact. Try not to move them around too much. And then you're going to take the remaining portion of the collar, the back of the collar, I'm cutting the tag off here, lay it down right on top and pin the tips of the strip to the inside of the collar. And make sure that you pin them really good, because they will tend to slide out. I did use the remaining leftover portion of the tag to determine where my middle was and evenly distribute the strips there. And then you're going to sew it down. Now, the other thing I did was I added a small little dart in the bust line just to give my shirt a little more shape. I tried it on and I added a dart there. This is completely optional. You might decide that you don't need this, but I put a little tiny dart in on the side. Now this second shirt is really quick and easy, and it also can be done with a long sleeve shirt to give more of an effect. So you'll see what I'm talking about as we move forward. So the first thing you want to do is remove the sleeve. I cut the sleeve on the outside of the seam, and then I took my pockets and created strips from what I had left. Now, if I had had a longer sleeve, I would have longer strips, and that would create a longer design on the shoulder. So I cut these 2 strips, I evened them off. I tried to make them as long as I possibly could, but as you can see with the curve of the sleeve, I had to cut that little piece off the edge. I tried to keep as much as I could. I attached them together and I stitched across the top. Now, whenever I'm sewing t-shirt fabric, always use a zigzag stitch. This is going to give you the best stitch. So that's my middle seam. I fold it over that little piece that I had, then I fold it over the other piece, and then I stitch down the center. Now on the shoulders, I created a little bit of a pleat in what was left and pinned that together. Did that on both sleeves, and then I took what was left over from this those 2 strips that I sewed together, and I also folded those over at the sleeve and just stitched across it. That's it for that one. All right, we're gonna move on to the next one.
And what are you guys waiting for? Hit that subscribe button below and click on that bell so that you don't miss an update. All right, let's get back to the video.
Okay, for this last shirt, it's a little bit oversized. The first thing you want to do is take note of whatever design you have going on the front of the shirt. You want to be sure when you make that cut across the top that you give yourself at least an inch or an inch and a half so that you can fold it over. First thing, remove the sleeves. I cut on the inside and remove the sleeve, and then I use the bottom part of the shirt to cut straight across the top. You can use a ruler here, but I didn't have one handy. And then because I have the curve of the underarm where I removed the sleeve, I decided I wanted to have a smooth transition from the top down the side. So I created a diagonal line that kind of smoothly went into the side of the shirt, and I just simply turned it inside out and sewed it straight down. Before I did that, I found the middle of the shirt and I cut about an inch and a half in the middle, and this is going to be the opening. Now here I am making t-shirt string from what's left over from the shirt, and after I cut those strips, I stretch them out. And then I'm going to stitch them together at each end using a zigzag stitch to attach. Usually about 4 or 5 of these strips should be good enough. Then I'm also using a zigzag stitch at the top of the shirt and folding down about an inch to create a casing in the top of the shirt. Then I'm going to go to my sleeve. Now the sleeve already had a hem in it, so I just took my scissors and cut a small little opening in the underarm section, took my elastic, attached a pin to it, and fed the elastic through the sleeve. Because the sleeve has just the right amount of hem in there to create this casing, this was perfect. So I used the elastic, put a safety pin on the end, and worked it through the already made casing. Then when I went to the top of the shirt, as you see here, I'd already sewn down and created a casing there. I also attached a pin to the t-shirt string and pulled that through. Now I'm going to the side seam of the shirt, matching that up with the inside seam of the sleeve, and I'm going to tack that down so that the sleeve is now connected to the shirt. I did that on both sides, and that was it. Now let's look at the finished product. Here are my finished looks, and I'm so excited how they turned out. The green one is the one that's a gift for a friend. The other two are mine. And as you can see with the green one, those inverted sleeves work out just great. That crisscross in the back of the yellow is absolutely perfect. And those bows on the shoulders, I just love them.
Thanks so much for watching today. I hope you guys got something out of this, maybe got some ideas on how you can create a t-shirt upcycle. Again, let me know, tag me, send me a DM, picture, what have you. I would love to see how your upcycles turn out. All right, well, if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button below and please click that like button because that makes a huge, huge difference. All right, you guys, I'll see you next week. Bye.